now that we've got that crack in there, we have to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill this right here. That's a 832. I got a number 28 drill bit in the press right there, and I'm going to drill center line through that housing and pin, center line it like that, center line it here, thread it, and put a screw through it. So what I'm going to do is just line that down through yonder, going by eyesight. Just bring your bit down there where you can see what you're doing, and that should be about right. Lock the table in, and I want to drill somewhere in the center of this cross piece here. So kind of getting a visual where the drill bit will go through the center line of that pin and the center line of this. I mean, you can measure it if you want to, but when you bring that down there, you can see where the drill will end up at. Without further ado, let's drill it. Now when I drill through there, the chuck right here is taller than that chuck is right there. So you back that up and you can see how far that we drilled. About right there. We drilled through that much. So we did go through. We went through the whole thing. Oh, I didn't realize that we had went all the way. All right. Better than I thought. Sometimes you luck out. Now the next, what I got to do now is to thread that all the way through. Oh, that's going to be better than I thought it was. Okay, let's get, let's thread that. The aluminum housing right there should thread really, really easy. And also, if you would like to use some cutting oils, cutting fluids, you can make this as complicated as you like. Now, when you get down there to that tool steel, it threads a little bit different. So, just be on guard. The object here is to end up with a repair, a working magneto that will service us well in years to come. Clean them threads out. Keep it in mind that you don't want to get down there and hit that housing there, because it'll make your tap go sideways. When we get down there, we'll switch over to a wrench. And be careful, you don't want to pull a thread out of here neither. And this tap will bottom out before it goes completely through there. Okay, that's as far as we can tap. We've hit the bottom. And I did use one number size larger than the recommended thread tap clearance hole. One number larger. It's still a really good thread, but it works better in that tool still in this situation right here. Now I really would like for that screw to come all the way through, so I'm going to come over here and thread it backwards. It's the same thread, and I'll show you. No need to. I feel like that hole was straight enough there to where that those threads will match up. And you notice that I didn't use any Loctite or any chemicals of that nature. Now we got us a thread completely through there. Our stainless steel it is. It just happened to be what I had over there. Let's get us a screwdriver. And run that right up in there. Pretty decent hole. In that tool steel, it kind of got a little bit snug, which is a good thing. The story is, as I was putting that screw in there, that I run out of memory card on the camera there, and I just carried away putting that in there, tighten it up, grind it off, and set it right. I was unaware that the camera had stopped, so we'll have to pick up right where we're at here. And all I've done let's call it a recap. Drill a hole through there, threaded it, and put that screw through there. Okay, I know one of the. Actually, I am glad that this happened. Had this not happened, then you would not see the outcome of this happening, because I don't know, this is only about half of them that I've replaced. That's 4, that's 6, 8 of them. That's 8 there that I had thrown in the bottom of the box over there. Pins that I took out. And this one's 9. There's another one, that's 10, and that's only about half of them. I've done at least 20 or more. I've done more than that replaced that pin this way, and I will be truthful in telling you that out of 20 some, this is only the 3rd one that cracked. Actually, I had one to crack over here on the long side, and it's the nature of this kind of casting. It's not good, even in a new one. It's not the best. But at any rate, I am pleased that this happened, that actually cracked, because that added to this repair how you can overcome that and still save the part. So with that said, we've got the new guide pin installed, and when you put it on this bushing, when you put it on right there and sideways, it's a real good sliding fit, and it is, you know, kind of closing one eye and sighting down through yonder on a straight edge and doing it like that right there. I'd say they was a thousandth or so movement, very little, very little. And the pin is almost even with that. It's exactly where the other one was. If I have spent a little bit of extra time length on this series of videos, this right here, I think it's time well spent, because these are expensive. This part right here is an expensive part if you're going to buy one, and it's the most worn part on an EK. You will find almost everyone that you buy will need this part replaced or repaired, and that's what I did here, a repair. And the other option is just to buy you one. You know, you do not have to use this if you don't want to. I have used these in the past, and I have experienced no problems with them. The repair of this right here. So with that little saying right there, let's put it together. Probably ought to clean up the workbench. And again, over here in the light, you know, all I did was that's really a tight sliding fit. It's just a thick washer. That one there, I think I didn't turn that. That's as found. And then the other piece of metal, and I do keep them aside, and I will use them again. And when you line them up right there, that's a perfect straight across. So it does not put that in any. When you knock that out, you're not putting that in a bind. The reason that they crack, if it does, and this one did not, when I drove it out, it just sheared that off and come on out. The reason it cracked is the 1/1000th interference fit. It was just ever such a little bit too big for the hole. Could have only been a 0.5 I actually feel that once this happened and I put that screw in there, it's actually a better repair than if I just pressed that pin in and it didn't crack, because it might crack at a later time just from stress. The way it is now, we have relieved the stress off of that and still have a tight fitting pin. I'm not trying to convince you to do this. I'm just saying it works for me. Let's put this thing together now. Oh, drill rod. When you buy a drill rod, you just wells to buy an assortment, because it does come in like 1/1000. Like if you're getting, say, 375 thousandths drill rod, you can get plus or minus 1/1000 on either side of that measurement. And sometimes when you're like this bushing right here, when you're trying to figure out, and this bushing right here was straight. It was in this case right here, I could actually save this bushing. Now you will have to replace bushings more often than not. If the bushing is worn, you actually can ream these out. You know, you can put them in the lathe. You can turn a straight hole through there again. That's the reason I kept these, because occasionally I will need to modify one. And at that point, you can turn, if you would like to put a bushing in here, and this one, somebody has put a bushing in there, a piece of copper tubing, and use that one. I don't recommend that, but you actually can turn a step up. Take this drill rod, put in the lathe over, turn it smaller, and then press a bushing inside this bushing, and then turn it down to that size down there. So, you know, if you're going to do some machine work, there is a half a dozen ways to fix these in lieu of buying a new one. let's get on with the show.